time on a Friday with some Black excellence as per usual and a whole lot of estrogen. You know, you got to be excellent to sit at the table with me, right? We're going to have a good time today, ladies.
Definitely.
We're going to get into it. But before we do, let me give you my medical disclaimer. Neither myself, Patricia Reed, a.k.a. Miss Ejida Jimenez, Journey with Trish, the podcast, Health Assistant Out, Fort City Classic, or any other affiliates are here to give you any type of medical or psychiatric advice. If you're having any type of those emergencies, I would defer you to your nearest emergency room or contact your provider because I am not your provider today. Listen, we're going to talk about mental health and entrepreneurship today, ladies. And I have with me three entrepreneurs, content creators who are just on 100 all the time, stay lit. And so I wanted to bring some energy to the podcast today. Who do I have over here to my right?
Well, my name is India Davis, owner of Blendia by India, where we make natural cosmetics for people who have sensitivities. We make natural soaps, body butters, creams, serums. The list goes on. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok at Blendia by India.
Okay. And to my left.
Hello, humans. I am Miss Charlene. I am a serial entrepreneur. I am a real estate investor. I have a lot of tax companies. I help people open their own tax companies. I am a licensed master cosmetologist. I am a licensed insurance agent. I'm a landlord. Um,
It's the list
Does
for me.
everything. I know, right?
I am a mother. I am a wife. And last but not least, I am a child of God.
That's first.
I
That's
said
first.
last but
First
not
and
least.
foremost.
Yes.
And over here to my far left,
I am Brianna Scott, a makeup artist
a makeup artist. She says
and a content creator.
yeah, and a content creator as well. So there is a reason why I contacted you three ladies to sit here today. And one of the things we also want to talk about today is your backgrounds. You know, with this being the Port City Classic Black Business Expo, we wanted to get into things as well, like college, trade school, on the job training. Is it also always necessary? And I'll let you start, with this question. You can give me your background, what your education background is, and then tell me, we'll get into it. Is it always necessary to have a college degree to be successful?
Okay, so I graduated from the amazing Alabama A&M. I have a minor in chemistry with a major in animal science. Also have a master's in chemistry from Tuskegee. The way I triggered my life, I don't even do what I'm doing. To be honest. Of course, the chemistry and stuff like that definitely helped me when I was making my products and formulating. But I tell people all the time, try to see what your child wants to do in life before you go out there and spending all this unnecessary money or, and also look into trade schools. College is not the answer for everything and everybody. So I just tell people just to try to sit down with their kids or teens to see what they want to do in school instead of trying to just push them to go to school, because a lot of kids, they get pushed to go to these schools and then they leave within their sophomore year. And you just spend $20,000. That's without going to private school, trying to get them in school and interested when they was never really interested in the first place. They want to work with their hands, so they can do plumbing or be an electrician, be a sound technician. There's other ways that you can incorporate these things into their lives without having to push them in school. Now, I chose to go to college. That's what I wanted to do because I wanted just not the education, but the overall experience.
Of college. So listen, let me apologize. Not apologize because I don't know where y'all are, and I'm sorry if you're at work. But where you should be is here on Water Street at the Convention Center for the Port City Classic. Do y'all hear? Y'all gotta hear that music in the background. So hopefully y'all can hear us clearly because they lit out there. What do you think? Like, tell me some about your educational background and how you feel.
First of all, everyone don't like school, and I'm one of those people. School is not for everyone. I don't have a college degree, but I'm very successful.
Mhm.
So don't think because you don't have a degree, you cannot be successful. That's not true at all. And myself, as many others,
Mhm.
are prime examples. You can do it without a degree. Um, I went to school to become a cosmetologist, and the first day there, when they had to stand up and introduce ourselves, I said, "I'm not here to do hair. I'm here for the business." So just because you start off doing something in school, that don't mean you're gonna continue to do it. Like, example, if you do hair, you're not gonna be behind that chair at 80 years old.
Mhm.
You got to think of something else, your products, start teaching. There's other ways to make money besides what you went to school for. So school's not just for everybody.
And what's your take on it, Brianna? Tell them your educational background and.
I'm glad I wasn't forced to go to college. My mom, she's right there, but she let me like branch off to like see what I wanted. Ever since I was a kid, I always been into makeup. So I played in makeup. I stole her makeup. Every time we went to the store to get toys, I wanted makeup. And she didn't like stray me away from like, you're too young. You don't need that. So I always wanted to do makeup. So by the time it was time for me to graduate high school, I thought I had to go to college. Because she was in college and I'm not, but I didn't. I ended up going to Salon 34 for aesthetic. So
Okay.
I'm glad I was forced.
And
Yeah.
then tell them this year you opened your own.
Sweet and all that.
Yay,
Congrats.
Yeah, I'm so proud of her. Bree met her and my daughter Treasure were in EQB. Shout out to EQB Morgan. So that's how they met, and they're still friends today. And so she's been, done Treasure's makeup, and she's my makeup artist. So I'm very proud of the women I've watched you become. There was a time though last year when I was getting my makeup done. He was like, "Oh, I'm thinking about maybe I want to go." I think you had visited somebody at school or something, and you came. He was like, "I'm thinking about maybe I might go."
My sister went off to college. And I was like, I think I want to do that. But I just live like my college life through my sisters and my friends.
And then I'll tell you, me, I did go to college probably about 52 times. I went to college straight out of high school, and it stayed for about a year and a half. Came home, met that dude. He was here, so I had to come back home to that dude. When I got here, I took a break, went back to college, and then I just kind of did that sporadically. It took me, let me see, from 18 to like 35 to finally finish college. I finally did it. But when I first went, I know that I was pregnant. So I made straight A's that first semester. I couldn't go nowhere.
Yeah.
That second semester, I had Shemaya, went back to school, and I spent more time in the student lounge, than I did in class. So I watched I just started to waste my parents' money. And then when it got to the point to where I actually, kept making these bad grades, and it came to financial aid, you can't even get a loan if your
No.
grades are in poor standing. And so they brought me in and they sat me down and told me, I wasn't going to be able to get my loan anymore or a grant. And that if I wanted to come back to school, I had to pay for it. And that maybe if I paid for it, I'd be more appreciative of it.
Yeah.
And they were right. The next time I went back, I had to pay, I had to take a class here that I could afford to pay for out of my pocket. And yeah, I definitely developed an appreciation for it when it became my money that I was just willy-nilly, throwing around. And so I would argue that parents should really have that conversation with your children when it comes to college. See what their mind space is. As a mental health provider, I'll tell you that I have an influx of students that come to see me in their 12th grade year, and they are highly stressed and highly anxious because it's getting ready to, they're getting ready to graduate. They're getting ready to be, everybody is telling them that they're about to be grown. You're about to have to figure out what you're going to do with the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And they get really scared and frightened. So don't, like, even if children, if it's a niece or a nephew or somebody, just be careful with how you approach them with words like grown and what you're going to do next. It's kind of like getting married and somebody saying, "We have to have a baby."
Yeah.
It just becomes very scary for them. So that small mental health tidbit when it comes to that. Kids, a lot of people think that they don't have anything to be stressed about. I tell you, those things are very, very, very
I feel
stressful.
like that's what happened to me. I am the second person to graduate in my family from college. So I went to college because I want to continue to tell the kids up under me that it is okay if you want to choose this route. I talk to my teens and youth of my family a lot because their parents, with them not knowing how to go through school and all this other stuff, they don't even know what the transition is. They don't know, because that's a big transition, especially if you're going miles away, even if you're going to South Alabama. And those kids at that age, like you said, they're 10th, well, they're 11th and 12th grade. They're like, well, I got to do something. I got to do something. My parents telling me to get out and all this stuff. And a lot of kids, they don't know how to mentally prepare themselves for that. And I feel like personally, something should be taught to them when they're in the 10th or the 11th grade. So by the time they get to the 12th grade, it won't be so hard for them to choose. And then it's like, well, I guess I'll go to college. Like, that's the only thing they think about next. Like, they don't think about the other options. So when I hear y'all stories about my parents gave me the option to do these things, I bless y'all parents, because as a person that was, I was a single household person. I'm the only child, and it was really, really hard for me to figure out. Well, my mom didn't really graduate, so now it gave me the pressure to go back to school and go to school and do something to at least make my family like, okay, but we doing something. And then later on down the line, I'm the first person in my family to own a business, or well, multiple business at this point. So that just tells me that I didn't even have to go down the college route if I didn't want to, because I had to pay myself through school. My mother couldn't afford all that. So I had to pay myself through school. I had to learn about different finances and financial loans and everything. So, and that gave more stress, because it's like, all right, I ain't gonna be here all these years and I got to pay stuff out of my pocket. So I graduated within 4.5 years. How I did it, I have no idea, but I did, because I didn't want to keep paying student loan debt. And so I tell people all the time, please, if it's your parents or your uncle, your niece or whatever, please just pay attention to what they're doing in their beginning of their high school years. Take them to these different college games. Take them to, sports games, bands,
Bring them to the Port City Classic,
Port City Expo. Yep. So they can get an idea of like what's on the other side. Because when you take them to the expo today, like for instance, they're walking around seeing all these other businesses. They can have these conversations with, people that look like them. So they can, it's great foundation to understand what's going on. So, just take them out just a little bit.
Now, hindsight being 2020 though, if you went back, like, you don't feel like any part of your education was beneficial to your businesses today?
Yes, because I made it that way. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not about to have a degree and don't use it at all. So, and I was making products and stuff in college for my skin because nothing worked. So yes, the chemistry does help when it comes to formulating, because I know how things can balance and I get a better understanding of what I'm doing, and I can help teach other people because I teach classes now. So yes, I feel like it helped me, but it's not the direction I was going towards.
And then both of you two, with you guys going to cosmetology school, I actually I've done everything you could possibly do. So I actually went to cosmetology school. And so today, in this day and time where we have a lot of weaveologists who don't necessarily go to college or don't, by law, don't have to go to even a cosmetology school just to do a sew-in. But how did the business, like you said, please, like, talk about that. How did that, because they do teach you business, how to run a salon, how about product management. So how did that help you as far as running a business? And either one of you can take that.
Well, for me, it helped me start my cosmetic line, my unique elegance makeup cosmetics. I learned that in school. I actually started that while in cosmetology school.
Okay.
So the business side was perfect for me. And I also got to use my other classmates, as I said, my guinea pigs, by testing my cosmetics. Of course, they were safe. But nobody broke out of anything and get sued. So they were okay. But the business side of being a cosmetology school, that helped me a lot. Besides that, no.
Customer relations, that, like, None of that?
I didn't learn that in school.
You didn't learn that in school?
No, I learned that on my own.
On your
dealing with
own?
the puppy.
How about you, Bree? How would you say it helped you?
My favorite thing I learned was the sanitation part of like the makeup and all that, how to stay clean on the right way though.
Mhm.
Not too bad. But yeah, and I learned how to deal with customers too because we had clients.
Mhm. I think that cosmetology school, even for me, even today, I learned some things as far as customer service because I don't know what school I was in, but we had a lot. Like I went to school in Pensacola and we had clients after clients after clients. And number one, it's one of those schools where you can finish whenever you finish, as long as you get your hours, right?
Mhm.
So you could stay in there for 2-3 years if she wanted to. She really liked it there. She really liked it there. But you had to make yourself get up and go to school and be there on time so you can get your hours in, or you would be there. Like it take you 2-3 years to finish school. And I'm just saying, in our community, there's a lot of stylists that don't show up on time, but don't show up at all,
Right.
or cancel appointments on you and don't think much of it. So I do think that it's important to get a good foundation with anything when it comes to, doesn't necessarily have to be that you went to a cosmetology school,
Mhm.
but even if maybe you have a good mentor, somebody that can kind of guide you into it. So I definitely don't think that college is for everybody. So let's get into the financial part of it. I'm almost 50 and I'm still paying student loans. I don't know if I'll ever. I might be like, I don't even care. Like, just at this point, I got an insurance policy just for my student loans because they're gonna get their
Yeah,
money.
they're gonna get their money.
And
Right.
you can't even die on your student loans. Like you're still gonna owe them if you have something.
Mhm.
So when you get your insurance policy, one for your house and one for your student loans, did you have to, like, were you able to get any financial aid, or did you have to cash your pocket to go to school?
I paid out of pocket.
Then how about you?
I still owe.
You still owe.
And they gonna get it.
Yeah, they gonna get their money, baby. They gonna get their money. A little bit at a time. For me, I try everything. I know some people that got their loans forgiven. Yeah, I'm still.
I wasn't one of those.
And I wasn't one.
No.
Yeah. And so you got to think about that, parents, when you are. I know we want our kids to, go off and be educated, but educated is not always in the form of a formal college education.
Mhm.
And sometimes they get into a lot of debt. So how do you, or you have, how old are your children? You have children? How old are your children?
19 and 6.
Okay. And
Mm.
you don't have children yet.
Not
Yeah.
yet.
You get ready to have a baby. Congratulations. So one of the conversations that is important to have with children, and I think it does start kind of early on, is, you kind of try to get a glimpse of what they're good at, what they like. A lot of us don't know what we want to do until we get older. However, just to say I'm going to school because I'm going to school, and then you end up with this big, huge bill, right? A job that you now go on and make $15-$20 an hour, but you got $100,000 worth of student loan debt, right?
Mhm.
And so the student loan debt doesn't match the career choice that you made.
Mhm.
And how do anybody got any ideas on how we can help children not make those kind of poor decisions? You know what I mean?
For my child, I already knew she wasn't going to college. She has watched me her life, and she already know she's gonna be a boss. So I didn't see the point of trying to push college on her. She loves to cook. I told her to do what she loves, and she loves to cook. So that's what she's doing, and she's in the process. Well, we're in the process trying to get her business started.
So no culinary school or anything like that you don't think would be beneficial?
Honestly, I've known a lot of people that go to culinary school, and a lot of stuff you don't learn in school.
Mhm.
And I don't want her to get that student loan and have that debt behind her. I'm just speaking on me being honest. I don't see the point if you don't have to, don't. If you don't have to get in debt, don't.
Now, what if she came and said, I want to go to school. You know, some kids really don't know what they want to do. They just want to go to school.
Mhm.
And so how do you help do that conversation?
If that's what she want to do, Mama got her 100%. We're gonna get that taken care of.
Okay. So I have a child that is in school spending a whole lot of my money right about now. And she, she changed her major at orientation 3 times.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm gonna give her this year to kind of, I'm not gonna say no, you can't go to school anymore if you don't figure out what you
Right.
want to do. But she's about to, after this, she'll be going into her junior year, and so you do have to kind of be mindful of your own money too, and the choices that they're making out there with your money. I don't want her to wake up and we $100,000 in debt, and then now she wants to go and do something that's going to make her $40,000 a year. If I'm being honest, because it takes a lot of time to pay that back. I'm all for nursing. I'm always going to preach nursing because I know that nursing is a career that will benefit you, and you can do anything with a nursing career. I can work at the bedside, and I can work in the office. I can start my own clinic.
You can travel.
I can travel. So there's so many avenues that you can take with nursing. So that's why I always say, just make sure it's something that's going to be, if you're going to go to college, at least make sure it's going to be for a career that's going to be lucrative for you in the future. The next question that I had, it came in my mind and then it went completely back out of my mind. I was talking about nursing. Wow, I guess I'm gonna digress to something else. So come on. It was very important. I always pride myself on not having to take notes, but the closer I get to 50 is getting kind of questionable. It's getting kind of questionable. So then it went, there was again. So the question, you remember that song? The question is,
You better sing.
girl, don't make me think I can sing. All right. So you have somebody that is going to school. Dang, I am totally at a blank. So let's talk about something else while I think about what that question was. Tell them a little bit about where they can find your products.
I have a website. Okay, I have a website. It's www.misscharlenementor.com. My Facebook is Charlene Sims Webb, and my Instagram is Miss_Charlene_Mindset Mentor.
Okay. And your products?
Oh, I have a website, blendiabyindia.com, or I have a storefront here in Mobile, Alabama. I'm also located in Virginia's Health Foods on Dolphin Street, and a Chakra's Juice Bar that's on downtown Alabama. Downtown Mobile, Alabama.
So that's 4 locations. You can get it online or 3 different locations. Okay. And Bree, where can they find you? Get beat.
On Instagram at oliviab.beautybar.
Okay. All right. You don't want to tell them what, because they can't just walk in. They got to have an appointment to come, right? All right. So cool. Yeah, the question still hadn't come back to still hasn't come back to me, but it was an important question because it was about college and whether or not you need to go to college. And I think the unanimous decision here today has been help you guide your children as in their decisions. Please don't force them to do something military. And how you guys feel about the military?
I feel the military, just the benefits alone. But once again, that's not for everyone.
Everybody was like,
Yeah. Did you get a lifetime tape?
No.
Oh my.
The mic is not on.
It's the speakers are
Going
going in and out. So I'm like, I'm sorry.
Just go with it. They can still hear you.
Okay. I'm sounding funny. Like,
Take it off.
okay, thank you. Okay. Okay. The question was, what was the question?
I don't
Oh, tell
About military.
military.
About
How do I
saying
feel
mil-
about military?
Mhm.
Okay.
I got you.
Thank you, baby. I was struggling with these headphones, like just going in and out. I'm like, okay. So I think military justice benefits alone be worth it because I have a lot of family that's in the military as well. But just like in college, it's not for everybody. Everybody can't handle the boot camp. Some people can't be yelled at. If you can't be yelled at, you just don't need to go. So that's how.
What are your thoughts on the military?
I just wasn't gonna go.
You know anybody that did go in the
Oh,
military?
my uncle. Yeah, a lot of my family did, but I just can't work out.
You can,
And
that's
get
the
yelled
only
at.
reason. Like, did you even take the ASVAB or anything? Like, it was never even a consideration.
That's not for me.
I took the ASVAB, and you know, I'm gonna find out a way for everything. So I took the ASVAB, signed up for the National Guard in the 11th grade. They had like a split program. You could start in 11th, finish in the 12th. So I did that. Enjoyed it for the 11th grade because we didn't do nothing. And I got a check for $118 every month.
Mhm.
And then one day, this sergeant had walked by me, and there was a piece of paper on the floor. And he pointed to it, and he said, "Pick that up." And I said, He said, "Pick up that piece of paper." So I looked at him, and so I picked it up. And then so all of a sudden in my spirit, I'm like, yeah, maybe this is not for me, you know, because I had a problem with authority. I'm just going to be totally honest. So I just got pregnant. So I wouldn't have to stay.
I mean, that's an answer,
That's
but
I got pregnant. And yeah, I got pregnant with Shemai, went back and said, "Hey, I'm pregnant, and you know, I ain't gonna be able to go off the National Guard." And he was like, "Well, do you want to go ahead and still do, you know, have the baby?" I was like, "Yeah, nah. Can I get out?" And so they let me out of it.
I just love you. You better be fixing her.
So they let me out of the National Guard because I got pregnant. But hindsight being 2020, yeah, I should have stayed. Because I did, like, I had my problem with authority has improved now, you know, as I get older, and my children try to develop a problem with me. So yeah, but I did the military. I still use my military discount when they let me too. Got my discharge papers and everything. What you think about your thoughts on the military?
I don't mind it. I don't have a problem with authority. I was in a band, an HBCU band. So yeah. So I just feel like if I had a child, I would let my child know every single thing before they even try to dip into something like that. Yes, the benefits are good and everything of that. But you know, let's just talk about the VA situation. Like when you're done, like what happens after that. So I would definitely talk to them about, you know, different alternatives and everything, but let them know what's going on and my perspective on it. And then I'll try to find my uncle, he's in the military. Well, he's not in the military now, but I would get him to talk to the child as well because that's beyond me. I don't know what to tell you. So that's what I would do.
Do you think that there should be some, which I mean, I know they have ROTC, but you know, like you get to go take college tours.
Mhm.
Do you think there should be like some type of military, like a base tour? Or maybe there is, and I just don't know about it. Something that they could actually go and witness, like spend the weekend on base, like on a you know, not in wartime or nothing like that, but just so they have
like a trial.
Of what it would be like other than getting in there, signing a piece of paper, and now you are stuck. You can't leave in 2 years.
Yeah.
Until you get pregnant.
Until you get pregnant. Baby, if you ever need a way to get out of anything, I'll let you, girl.
The wheels away.
So I believe that was my question. HBCUs. I wanted to know, did you go to an HBCU? Okay,
I did.
And so when you have, are you? And I'm not saying when are you have. Are you? Or do you plan on having children?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I just got married, so
Congratulations.
you know, eventually.
And when take your time. So when your children get older, what would that conversation be like with them as far as choosing an HBCU versus a PWI?
I would. Okay, so I was actually when I was in high school, I went to Murphy High. I was in a band. I did the orchestra band, the whole 9 yards. So PWI was the direction I was going to go towards. But when I was doing my auditions and everything, A&M came, And I was just like, you know what? I keep hearing about these HBCUs experience, and I know PW. I'd have been through Troy, I'd have been through all this, been to Auburn, and I was like, I really want to try a HBCU.
I went to Robertsdale. You can't get no PW out in Robertsdale.
You can't. So I was like, I really want to try HBCU experience. I went up there for it was like rush week or something when the high school kids go up there. Love the experience. I think it was the best experience I've ever had because it's number one, people that look like me and I'm looking at these people on a more educated level. The networking and the communication that I've seen with everybody. So for me, I would let my child choose which one they want to go to, but I'll be kind of like, I'm gonna take you to the state game, or I'm gonna take you to this A&M game, or take you to Jackson to try to see what you like. And then, I'll take them to a Troy or Alabama game to try to see what their experience is. I would want them to go to a HBCU to be personal, but it'll be based on what the kid wants.
You guys have any different opinions on that question?
I went to BYU.
You went to BYU? Is that Baylor?
Backyard University.
Oh my God.
So good.
BYU Backyard University, in case y'all didn't catch that. Bree, what would you like? What's gonna be your conversation with little mama? You think? Because I want you to start preparing for that now.
I'm just praying that she just start doing it young, so she can already know, like I did.
Yeah.
Because by the time I got like 18, I was like, I know what to do. Stuck.
Anybody get prepared for it? Because I'm gonna be honest, I did not. Anybody get prepared or plan on getting prepared for your children's education by like putting, money away in one of those? I forget what you call that fund.
Yep, I haven't.
I didn't.
Yeah.
My mom's.
Yes, mama.
You're gonna take care of the college education for your grandbaby.
Okay. All right.
Well, let's once you start doing for one, you got to do for them all. Yeah. So listen, everybody. See, we got a little bit of time left, about 8 minutes. So let's talk some more about the game tomorrow. Is going to be Grambling versus Alabama State University. And I wish I had a schedule in front of me. I know you can get your tickets online at theportcityclassic.com. And we are today right here at the Mobile Convention Center on Water Street. They've got vendors inside the building, a lot of vendors. So we got some good music inside the building. I saw Jack Daniels as per usual. Shout out to my guy Will as usual. So it's a good time over here. And tonight is the DL Hughley. My girl DJ Sham, 1:35. She's gonna be doing a set. So make your way down here for that, because I'm always gonna shout out my girls. I love girls, because girls run the world.
Girl power.
That's right. And then tonight over at, I think it's a Civic Center, right? D.L. Hughley. I think it's the Civic Center. D.L. Hughley is going to be performing tonight, and then there's also an after party. There's an after party after the D.L. Hughley show, so there's a lot of stuff to do tonight. We got to get into it. It wouldn't be me if we didn't. Some little social media drama, right? We're going to use our own personal social media, Mobile drama, Baltimore County drama, Gulf Coast drama about this $10 to get into the gate. Right? I personally, I do not see a problem with paying $10 to support. This is my opinion, and I'll let everybody else get theirs. $10 to support something, to be able to keep bringing these schools. Shout out to Dominique Haston, to be able to bring these schools here to the Gulf Coast, because we always complaining that we ain't got nothing to do, right? And so when they give us something to do, we got to be willing to sometimes pay to help them give us something to do. So while it might be a little bit outside of the norm, we're going to the Senior Bowl, or we just had the Gulf Coast Classic, and maybe it was a little different then. But for every action there is a reaction,
Mhm.
right? And so the reaction to us not buying enough tickets to that game caused the reaction of us paying $10 to still support this game so that hopefully they can come back next year, right?
Mhm.
Now, I have been to the Gulf Coast Challenge 2 years in a row. Maybe the outfits is everything. I'm seeing two, three, four, $500 Jordans walk through there, and hair be laid and nails always on set.
And a fur vest.
And the fur, like you said, the fur vest and the fur vest.
And a fur vest.
I just can't imagine that we can't pay $10 to make sure that this event still keeps happening. That's my take, and I'm hoping that everybody else, even if you can't come, still purchase a ticket, give that ticket to somebody else, make a donation, so that we can. And if nothing else, we got to give these kids in our community something to do, right? Because it has been proven that the more active they are, the more things like this that we bring them, the more activities, the more it does decrease the violence, which is pretty high in our community. So we got to start somewhere, right? So why not start with the $10? What's your take on it?
I don't mind. I'm glad they're asking for additional money for parking. Just number one, your car's gonna be safe. It's not gonna be on the street and all this other stuff. And then if you go to a Saints game, you're gonna be paying $20, $30 to park. And
Just the park.
it won't even be at the arena. It'll be at the parking lot down the street from the arena. So I see nothing wrong with it.
I mean, even if when I go to New Orleans, I pay almost $100 a day for the hotel parking,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just the park there.
Yep.
First of all, I would like to thank you all for letting me walk around for free all the many times that I did. So I will be more than happy to pay you your $10. Thank you.
Thank you for your support.
I've actually never been. So.
What?
But it's just $10.
Yeah.
You never been to one of the games? Yeah.
Oh.
And Bree and I won't be there tomorrow at the game because we have an event tomorrow that was already pre-planned. But still gonna support. So I'm hoping that you guys will do the same so we can continue to have these events because we're trying to put us on the map. Like we got the cruise ship back, and we got these Gulf Coast challenges in Port City Classic. This is the first time at the Black Business Expo, and I am officially shut. Go ahead, start clapping now. Because I'm the first girl to do it. Yeah. Missy, how Big Trish doing big things down here in the Port City. Thank you all for tuning in with us today. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. Shout out to the Content Factory from Birmingham. Yes. Did your thing. If you are looking for somebody to hook you up with content, I'm gonna have a conversation with him in between podcasts so he can tell me what else he does. I have really enjoyed myself. We got Felicia coming back in the room. Thanks for having you, girl. Listen, it'll be available on, I'm not sure, but it will post to the Port City Classic page. And then it'll also be on my pages, and you'll be able to listen to it on your favorite listening app starting tomorrow on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all them podcasts. I'm not going to say the names too because I've been instructed to stop dropping labels who ain't paying me. So I will see y'all next Tuesday as usual. Actually, I'm gonna see y'all in a minute when y'all get here to the Port City Classic. All right. See y'all tomorrow.
See ya.